Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Engage in the trade of. Commodities offered for sale. Good business depends on having good merchandise. Engage in the trade of. An equal exchange. Steady winds blowing from east to west above and below the equator. They rode the trade winds going west. People who perform a particular kind of skilled work. As they say in the trade. The business given to a commercial establishment by its customers. A particular instance of buying or selling. I had no further trade with him. Turn in as payment or part payment for a purchase. Trade in an old car for a new one. Exchange or give something in exchange for. Do business. Offer for sale as for one's livelihood. The skilled practice of a practical occupation. He learned his trade as an apprentice. Be traded at a certain price or under certain conditions. The stock traded around $20 a share. The commercial exchange, buying and selling on domestic or international markets, of goods and services. Venice was an important center of trade with the East. The set of elements common to two or more sets. An artifact that has been created by someone or some process. They improve their product every year. Commodities offered for sale. That store offers a variety of products. A quantity obtained by multiplication. The product of 2 and 3 is 6. A chemical substance formed as a result of a chemical reaction. A product of lime and nitric acid. A consequence of someone's efforts or of a particular set of circumstances. Skill is the product of hours of practice. Spend extravagantly. Commodities offered for sale. Articles of the same kind or material, usually used in combination, silverware, software. Articles of commerce. That which is pleasing or valuable or useful. Weigh the good against the bad. Articles of commerce. With or in a close or intimate relationship. A good friend. Moral excellence or admirableness. There is much good to be found in people. Exerting force or influence. A warranty good for 2 years. Promoting or enhancing well-being. The experience was good for her. Often used as a combining form, in a good or proper or satisfactory manner or to a high standard. Good is a non-standard dialectal variant for well. The baby can walk pretty good. Tending to promote physical well-being, beneficial to health. A good night's sleep. Appealing to the mind. Good music. Of moral excellence. A genuinely good person. Not left to spoil. The meat is still good. In excellent physical condition. Good teeth. Not forged. A good dollar bill. Having the normally expected amount. Gives good measure. Completely and absolutely, good, is sometimes used informally for thoroughly. We beat him good. Deserving of esteem and respect. Ruined the family's good name. resulting favorably. It's a good thing that I wasn't there. Having or showing knowledge and skill and aptitude. A good mechanic. Financially safe. A good investment. Most suitable or right for a particular purpose. A good time to plant tomatoes. Agreeable or pleasing. We all had a good time. Benefit. For your own good. Capable of pleasing. Good looks. Generally admired. Good taste. Having desirable or positive qualities, especially those suitable for a thing specified. Good news from the hospital. Morally admirable. Thorough. Had a good workout. Articles of commerce. A small stream. Have a particular form. The story or argument runs as follows. Perform as expected when applied. Does this old car still run well? Compete in a race. He is running the marathon this year. Become undone. A row of unraveled stitches. She got a run in her stocking. A score in baseball made by a runner touching all 4 bases safely. The Yankees scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th. Run, stand, or compete for an office or a position. Who's running for treasurer this year? Come unraveled or undone as if by snagging. Her nylons were running. Direct or control. Projects, businesses, etc. She is running a relief operation in the Sudan. Extend or continue for a certain period of time. The film runs 5 hours. A race between candidates for elective office. He is raising money for a Senate run. Include as the content, broadcast or publicize. Pass over, across, or through. The act of testing something. Travel a route regularly. Carry out a process or program, as on a computer or a machine. Run a new program on the Mac. Flee. Take to one's heels, cut and run. If you see this man, run. Cause something to pass or lead somewhere. Have a tendency or disposition to do or be something, be inclined. These dresses run small. Stretch out over a distance, space, time, or scope. Run or extend between 2 points or beyond a certain point. Service runs all the way to Cranberry. The act of running, traveling on foot at a fast pace. He broke into a run. Cause to emit recorded audio or video. Keep company. The heifers run with the bulls to produce offspring. Change or be different within limits. Interest rates run from 5 to 10%. Deal in illegally, such as arms or liquor. Continue to exist. A race run on foot. She broke the record for the half-mile run. An unbroken series of events. Nicholas had a run of birdies. Reduce or cause to be reduced from a solid to a liquid state, usually by heating. The pouring forth of a fluid. American football. a play in which a player attempts to carry the ball through or past the opposing team. The defensive line braced to stop the run. Be diffused. These dyes and colors are guaranteed not to run. Move along, of liquids. Progress by being changed. Run through your presentation before the meeting. Pursue for food or sport, as of wild animals. The dogs are running deer. An unbroken chronological sequence. The play had a long run on Broadway. A regular trip. The ship made its run in record time. A short trip. Take a run into town. Be affected by, be subjected to. Run at temperature. Be operating, running or functioning. The car is still running, turn it off. Carry out. Run an errand. Cause an animal to move fast. Run the dogs. Cause to perform. Run a subject. Change from one state to another. Run amok. Cover by running. Run a certain distance. Make without a miss. Move about freely and without restraint, or act as if running around in an uncontrolled way. Who are these people running around in the building? Move fast by using one's feet, with one foot off the ground at any given time. Don't run, you'll be out of breath. Occur persistently. Musical talent runs in the family. Run with the ball, in such sports as football. Sail before the wind. Set animals loose to graze. The continuous period of time during which something, a machine or a factory, operates or continues in operation. The assembly line was on a 12-hour run. The production achieved during a continuous period of operation, of a machine or factory, etc. A daily run of 100,000 gallons of paint. Travel rapidly, by any, unspecified, means. She always runs to Italy, because she has a lover there. Unrestricted freedom to use. He has the run of the house. Having important effects or influence. A meaning that is not expressly stated but can be inferred. Indicate or signify. Commodities, goods or services, bought from a foreign country. The message that is intended or expressed or signified. The import of his announcement was ambiguous. An imported person brought from a foreign country. The lead role was played by an import from Sweden. Bring in from abroad. Transfer, electronic data, into a database or document. Commodities, goods or services, sold to a foreign country. Cause to spread in another part of the world. The Russians exported Marxism to Africa. Sell or transfer abroad. We export less than we import and have a negative trade balance. Transfer, electronic data, out of a database or document in a format that can be used by other programs. Social or verbal interchange, usually followed by, with. Buying and selling, especially illicit trade. Deal illegally. Traffic drugs. The aggregation of things, pedestrians or vehicles, coming and going in a particular locality during a specified period of time. The amount of activity over a communication system during a given period of time. Heavy traffic overloaded the trunk lines. Trade or deal a commodity. They trafficked with us for gold. Deal in illegally, such as arms or liquor. An illegal market in which goods or currencies are bought and sold in violation of rationing or controls. People who engage in illicit trade. A kind of hedged investment meant to capture slight differences in price. When there is a difference in the price of something on two different markets, the arbitrager simultaneously buys at the lower price and sells at the higher price. Practice arbitrage, as in the stock market. An area in a town where a public mercantile establishment is set up. A marketplace where groceries are sold. The grocery store included a meat market. Make commercial. The securities markets in the aggregate. The market always frustrates the small investor. The world of commercial activity where goods and services are bought and sold. Without competition, there would be no market. Buy household supplies. We go marketing every Saturday. Deal in a market. Engage in the commercial promotion, sale, or distribution of. The company is marketing its new line of beauty products. The customers for a particular product or service. Before they publish any book, they try to determine the size of the market for it. Distributed or sold illicitly. Goods whose importation or exportation or possession is prohibited by law. Merchandise that is shoddy or inferior. A prominent attribute or aspect of something. The map showed roads and other features. The principal, full-length film in a program at a movie theater. The feature tonight is Casablanca. Linguistics. A distinctive characteristic of a linguistic unit that serves to distinguish it from other units of the same kind. Have as a feature. This restaurant features the most famous chefs in France. A special or prominent article in a newspaper or magazine. They ran a feature on retirement planning. Wear or display in an ostentatious or proud manner. The characteristic parts of a person's face: eyes and nose and mouth and chin. An expression of pleasure crossed his features. An article of merchandise that is displayed or advertised more than other articles. The charge for transporting something by common carrier. We pay the freight. Transporting goods commercially at rates cheaper than express rates. Goods carried by a large vehicle. Load with goods for transportation. Transport commercially as cargo. Wine that does not meet the minimum qualifications and standards for use of a designation by appellation of origin, where the grapes are grown, or by varietal content, may only be labeled by proprietary, made-up, name, by general color, such as vin rouge, vino rosso, rotwine, red wine, etc., or by general class, as vin ordinaire, vin de table, vino da tavola, tafelwine, table wine, etc. Any product that can be sold without a brand name. Applicable to an entire class or group. Is there a generic Asian mind? Of drugs, not protected by trademark. Acetaminophen is the generic form of the proprietary drug, Tylenol. Relating to or common to or descriptive of all members of a genus. The generic name. A detailed list of all the items in stock. The merchandise that a shop has on hand. They carried a vast inventory of hardware. A collection of resources. Making an itemized list of merchandise or supplies on hand. An inventory may be necessary to see if anything is missing. Make or include in an itemized record or report. Accounting. The value of a firm's current assets including raw materials and work in progress and finished goods. Goods carried by a large vehicle. Goods carried by a large vehicle. The official act of consigning a person to confinement, as in a prison or mental hospital. The delivery of goods for sale or disposal. A particular kind of product or merchandise. A quantity that can be processed or transported at one time. The system broke down under excessive loads. Corrupt, debase, or make impure by adding a foreign or inferior substance, often by replacing valuable ingredients with inferior ones. A deposit of valuable ore occurring within definite boundaries separating it from surrounding rocks. Goods carried by a large vehicle. Provide, a device, with something necessary. He loaded his gun carefully. Wait to be borne or conveyed. The front part of a guided missile or rocket or torpedo that carries the nuclear or explosive charge or the chemical or biological agents. Fill or place a load on. Load a car. An onerous or difficult concern. That's a load off my mind. An amount of alcohol sufficient to intoxicate. He got a load on and started a brawl. Electrical device to which electrical power is delivered. Put something on a structure or conveyance. Load the bags onto the trucks. The power output of a generator or power plant. Transfer from a storage device to a computer's memory. A quantity that can be processed or transported at one time. Goods carried by a large vehicle. Wait to be borne or conveyed. The labor of putting a load of something on or in a vehicle or ship or container, etc. The loading took 2 hours. The ratio of the gross weight of an airplane to some factor determining its lift. Put into a group. Determine the number or amount of. One of a series published periodically. The property possessed by a sum or total or indefinite quantity of units or individuals. The number of parameters is small. The number is used in calling a particular telephone. He has an unlisted number. Add up in number or quantity. A short performance that is part of a longer program. It was one of the best numbers he ever did. A symbol used to represent a number. Place a limit on the number of. Enumerate. We must number the names of the great mathematicians. A clothing measurement. A number 13 shoe. A concept of quantity involving zero and units. Every number has a unique position in the sequence. An item of clothing. She preferred the black nylon number. A numbered item in a series. Take the number 2 to the main square, then change to the number 5. A numeral or string of numerals that is used for identification and may be attached to accounts, memberships, etc. She refused to give them her social security number. A select company of people. I hope to become one of their number before I die. Give numbers to. You should number the pages of the thesis. The grammatical category for the forms of nouns and pronouns and verbs that are used depending on the number of entities involved, singular or dual or plural. In English, the subject and the verb must agree in number. Goods carried by a large vehicle. The front part of a guided missile or rocket or torpedo that carries the nuclear or explosive charge or the chemical or biological agents. Merchandise in the form of fabrics sold by the yard. A particular kind of product or merchandise. Fill something that had previously been emptied. Refill my glass, please. A commercial product that refills a container with its appropriate contents. He got a refill for his ballpoint pen. A prescription drug that is provided again. He got a refill of his prescription. Part with a possession or right. Let something fall or spill from a container. Music. The act or manner of terminating a musical phrase or tone. A device that when pressed will release part of a mechanism. Activity that frees or expresses creative energy or emotion. The act of liberating someone or something. Grant freedom to. Free from confinement. Make assets available. Release the holdings in the dictator's bank account. Release, as from one's grip. Release, gas or energy, as a result of a chemical reaction or physical decomposition. A legal document evidencing the discharge of a debt or obligation. The act of allowing a fluid to escape. Prepare an issue for public distribution or sale. Eliminate a substance. The plant releases a gas. The termination of someone's employment, leaving them free to depart. Make information available for publication. Release the list with the names of the prisoners. An announcement distributed to members of the press in order to supplement or replace an oral presentation. Euphemistic expressions for death. Generate and separate from cells or bodily fluids. Release a hormone into the bloodstream. A formal written statement of relinquishment. A process that liberates or discharges something. There was a sudden release of oxygen. Merchandise issued for sale or public showing, especially a record or film. A new release from the London Symphony Orchestra.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.